Eu vou conversar com ela, vou passar o meu e-mail.
Guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, teacher.
Good evening.
Hello. How are you?
Fine,
Good.
fine, teacher. Thank you. And you, is everything okay?
Yes, everything is okay. Thanks for
From the
asking.
other part from America.
Everything is fine. Oscar, how are things there?
Okay, I'm fine here. And you? How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Yes. Okay. Everything is fine. Nothing is new, but everything is fine. Okay.
I know.
Okay. Who else is missing? Ah, Dirce is here too. Hello, Dirce. Dirce.
Oh,
Are you
hello, hello.
How are you?
Yes, it's not good.
Excellent. Okay. So, based on yesterday's class, I felt that some people, at least some people, were kind of a little interested when we were talking about Abraham Lincoln or Abe Lincoln or Abe Honest. And then I also started talking about the American Civil War. Okay. So I decided to do some search and I found an interesting article that will probably complement yesterday's class concerning the American Civil War. That's what I'd like to talk about today, okay? So let me share my screen with you and we can start our class without any further delays. So, a defining time in our nation's history. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
This was written by Dr. James McPherson. Okay. And the photographs are from the National Archives. Okay. Yes.
In my paper, I don't have this picture, but it's okay, no? Only text.
Yes.
Okay, Abraham Lincoln. Okay.
Here, the Civil War. Yes. Is it the same? Abraham Lincoln was yesterday. Today's the Civil War.
No, it is not the same.
Okay. Yes, it's a different paper, different material.
I will print again. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it was uploaded today at lunchtime. But we can start discussing why you print. Okay. So, Mr. Oscar, can you start reading this for us, please? Oscar?
I'm here. Excuse me.
Okay, no problem.
The Civil War is the central event in American historical consciousness.
Consciousness.
Consciousness. Yes.
Well,
While
you say conscious, Oscar, just a moment. Say okay. Conscious. Consciousness. Perfect now.
Okay. While the revolution of 1776 to 1783 created in the United States the Civil War of 1861 to 1865, determinate what kind of nation it would be. Okay. The war resolved two fundamental questions left unresolved by
the revolution.
Whether the United States was to be a dissolvable confederation of
sovereign
states or an indivisible nation with sovereign nation government. whether this nation, born of the declaration that all men were created with an equal right to liberty, would continue to exist as the largest slave holding country in the world.
Okay, let's understand this first paragraph because this will be the solid foundation that you need to understand the beginning of the war. Okay, so from 1776 to 1783, you had the American Revolution. Okay, that's when the United States became independent from England. So
Yes.
you had a lot of battles fought between American, let's say, residents and the British Army. Okay, it was also a very bloody time in the history of the United States. Okay, there is a movie, very good movie about this, The Patriot. Okay, with I don't remember his name, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson. Okay, it's a very good.
Patriot
Yes,
movie.
yes, The Patriot. It's exactly about the American Revolution. And then what happened? After they became a free nation, after their independence from England was declared, there was still a problem. That's what they say here. The war resolved two fundamental questions left unresolved by the revolution. Whether the United States was to be a dissoluble confederation of sovereign states, or, and see, whether, I always have two options, remember, whether, and here I have or, okay? Always, that's why I use whether, not if. Or an indivisible nation with a sovereign national government. And whether this nation, born of a declaration that all men were created with an equal right to liberty, would continue to exist as the largest slave-holding country in the world. Here was the, let's say, controversy, because in the American Declaration of Independence was written there that all men should be free. All men have equal right to liberty. But at the same time, they were the largest slave-holding country in the world. Compared to Brazil, they had thousands and thousands more slaves, right? Now, is there any word or any expression that you are not familiar with, except for sovereign? That's why it's in bold. This is part of the comprehension. So far, you have to try to imagine, because it's in the questionnaire we have at the end. Okay. Here, there is a question. What would be the best definition for the word sovereign? So if I tell you now, I'll give you the answer. So I'm not talking about it now. Is there any other question about this first part or no? Hello?
No,
Is there any question?
no
It's
question.
okay.
No question.
Okay.
Oh,
No.
okay. Good. Now, Gloria, can you read this part for us, please?
You can share, teacher.
I'm sorry?
Northern
Are you
yes,
there?
yes.
Okay, can you? Okay.
Northern victory in the war preserved the United States as one nation and ended the institution of slavery that had divided the country from us beginning. But this achievement, what?
Achievement. It's beginning.
Achievement
but these achievements came at cost. 625, oh my God,
1,000 lives.
thousand lives, nearly as many lives, nearly as many American soldiers as died in all the other wars is which this country has fought combined. The American Civil War was the largest and the most destructive conflict in the Western world. Destructive conflict in the Western conflict in the Western world between the end and the Napoleonic Wars in 1815 and the onset of World War in 1914. My son is jumping, teacher. Yes, your voice is jumping.
And for me, it's the same. There is a delay in the voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I observed too. Delay.
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
A little delay.
Yeah, that I think it's because of the internet connection, okay? All right, any problem about this paragraph? Here I can explain you anything that you are not familiar with.
What does onset mean?
Beginning.
Beginning? Okay.
Yes, when it started. Any other problem or no? Any other problem or no?
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. Here's, can you read a part, at least a part of the next paragraph for us, please?
Yes. The Civil War started because of uncompromising differences between the free and slave states over the power of the national government to prohibit slavery in the territories that had not yet become states. When Abraham Lincoln won election in 1860 as the first Republican president on a platform pledging to keep slavery out of the territories. 7 slave states in the deep South seceded and formed a new nation, the Confederate States of America.
Excellent. Stop there, please.
Stop. Okay.
Yes. Any problem about this part or no?
What's the pledging? Pledging.
Pledge. The verb to pledge. Do you know when there is an election coming? Okay.
Yes.
You know the promises the candidates make?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lincoln was elected because he pledged to keep slavery out. He promised to finish slavery. So to pledge is almost the same of the promise. The idea is the same, okay?
Okay.
So he had already promised to end slavery. And that's what he did. He ended slavery. And then what happened? 7, let's say, territories, they were not states yet, in the deep south of the United States, seceded and formed a new nation, the Confederate States of America. Okay?
Seceded is separate?
You see, it's in bold. It's part of the comprehension there, but I think you got the idea. Understand?
Okay.
Okay? This is going to be in the comprehension, but the idea you got. Okay? They seceded and formed a new nation, the Confederate States. But in the American Constitution, it was written that they were one nation, indivisible. And when the 7 states separated, this created a problem. Understand?
Yeah.
And Lincoln could not accept that. Okay? So, Carol, can you finish reading this for us? The incoming.
Yes, the incoming Lincoln administration and most of Northern people refused to recognize the legitimacy of succession. Succession. They feared that it would discredit democracy and create a fatal precedent that would eventually fragment the no longer United States into several small, squabbling countries.
Let's understand this part here. But incoming Lincoln administration and most of the northern people, we talked about this yesterday, the northern states, they did not need the slaves because they were industrialized, right? So they did not accept the southern states' secession, okay? Because they were afraid this would discredit democracy and create a fatal precedent that would eventually fragment the no longer United States. Okay, the United States would be a lot of the small squabbling countries. First, there were the Confederate States of America. And who knows? Probably other states or territories would also secede and create another country there. All right? That's when practically the war started. Is there any vocabulary problem about this part or no?
What means squabbling?
Squabbling.
That means not very clear definition of, there will be countries, but inside of the United States, okay? It's just like the southern part of Brazil. They have been talking about seceding for some time already. They want to be independent from Brazil, okay? And then imagine, would be what? Another Brazil inside of Brazil, okay? All right?
No.
All right.
No.
Oh,
So
who
sorry.
said
No, it's not
that
so
means
clear
not
for me.
very clear, not very clear. That's the point, exactly. Not very clear states, countries, I mean, okay?
Okay. It's not
Yes,
very clear.
because they would all be inside of the United States, but they would be different countries. So this was not acceptable. Understand?
So it's almost in Italy, they have another country inside.
Vatican?
Do you know? Is
Vatican?
okay? Is this?
Vatican. Are you talking about the Vatican?
Tell me again, because today is difficult to understand.
I said,
The internet is not to work very well.
Yes,
okay.
I believe.
Vatican. He said Vatican.
Yes, Vatican, or yes, San Marino Republic also.
Okay, but there you have very clear, understand, division. Okay,
Yes.
Vatican is in the middle of Rome, but it's an independent country, okay?
Okay.
They have their own policy, they have their own rules, they have their own security guards,
Okay.
Because security guards are from Switzerland, okay? But what was happening in the United States is these smaller countries that were becoming independent, the division was not very clear. That's exactly the point.
Ah, okay. I don't know the exactly word, but I know the mean. Okay.
Yeah, the idea is like they would be fighting constantly because there was one constitution only in the United States, and that should apply to all the states and territories. And then they would probably create new constitutions, and this was not accepted by the people in the North. Understand? Okay?
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
These different states inside the United States is always fighting, is always in conflict. Is the idea is this,
Yes,
teacher?
that's
Okay.
yes, they would always be fighting against each other. Okay, conflicting countries inside of what was supposed to be the United States.
Okay.
Understand? And this would create an eternal conflict. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Understand the idea?
Yes.
The idea, yes. I don't know the
Yes.
word for this, but the idea I know now.
Now think about the two friends, two boys that are always fighting against each other. You can call them squabbling boys because they are always having something that is not good between them. Conflict.
Okay.
Thank you.
I understood the idea. Okay.
Yes. This is what I want you to get. Always the idea. Because if I tell you the word, probably you will forget in 5 minutes. When the class is over, you don't remember anymore if I translate. And I avoid translating by all costs. Understand? Okay? It would be much easier for me to translate this, but you would forget it very fast. Okay? So squabbling has the idea of eternally fighting, eternally in a controversy. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Who is Erica? Can you read one part of the next long paragraph for us, please?
Yes. The event that triggered the war came at Fort Sumter in Charleston Bay on April 12, 1861. Claiming this United States fort as the crown, the Confederate Army on that day opened fire on the Federal garrison and forced it to lower the American flag in surrender.
Lower.
Lower the American flag in surrender. Lincoln called out the militia to suppress this insurrection. To suppress this insurrection. 4 more slave states seceded and joined the Confederacy. By the end of 1861, nearly 1 million armed men confronted each other along a line stretching 1,200 miles from Virginia to Missouri. Missouri.
Okay. Good. Can I stop there? Okay. Now, this is the point when the war started. Okay. What happened? There was a United States fort at this place, Charleston Bay, and on April 12, 1861, the Confederate troops attacked this fort and made them surrender and lower the American flag. Okay? So they took over this fort as they claimed it to be theirs, not from the northern part of the United States. This triggered the war. Understand the idea of triggered war?
No.
Okay. Imagine I have in my hands a gun, a pistol, right?
Yeah.
All right. You know
Yeah.
that place where you put your hands like this, your finger, and shoot. That is the trigger. Okay, trigger. So what happened on this day? Triggered. Okay, ignited, triggered the war. Understand the idea?
Yes.
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 Understand what is the trigger?
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
you put your finger in a revolver, in a gun. Boom. Right. Any other problem about this part or no?
What's
Garrison.
garrison?
Garrison is like a troop of soldiers that usually defend the fort. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
The soldiers that were there at this fort, they were federal soldiers. So we call it federal garrison. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Erika,
Yes.
I would like to say that, of course, you can read as you read 1,200 miles. That's perfect, okay? But every time you have a number, Erika, where you have 2 zeros like this, okay, you know what they usually do? They separate it. They say 1,200 miles.
Okay.
Okay? Because
Could you
zero,
repeat
zero,
again,
it's
teacher?
not 100. Yes.
With 2 zeros, the name is?
100, like 100, 200, 300,
Okay.
1,200. This has a certain
Good.
effect. It's user pronounce. Yeah, 1,200, 1,200. Okay, and
Okay.
this also creates a certain illusion, especially when you are asking about the price of something. Imagine you girls, you go into a Louis Vuitton store to buy a new purse, and you ask the guy, oh, I like this little one here. How much is that? Do you think the guy is going to say, oh, that is simply $1,500? No, you never say that. Because the word thousand already, oops, that's a lot for us. Especially now that the dollar is more than 6 reais. Okay? So what happens? They say, oh, that's only 1,500. Understand? By using
Yes.
100, the effect is better than listening 1,000. Okay? Okay, girls. Okay, Oscar.
Thank
Understand
you.
this?
Good,
Okay.
good.
Okay.
This is new for me.
Now,
Yeah, me too.
yes, it's very common. Unless you have never asked about the price of something expensive, understand? Like 5,500, that is 5,500. Okay? 2,400, that's 2,400, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's a dangerous.
Okay, let's see.
No scare the customer.
Yes, that's exactly the idea, Carol.
Yeah,
Understand?
very dangerous, very dangerous.
Not to frighten you, understand?
Yeah,
It's just like when it costs 1,000, right? It's never 1,000. It's just
exactly.
999.
100 is okay.
And my wife always eliminates the 99. It's just 900. Okay?
And me too.
You see? So that's the of a women probably. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now I have here Vanessa. Are you with us?
Yes,
Oh, it's good the
Wow.
voice today, the audio.
it's because
Wow.
I'm in my cell phone. For me, it's horrible because the letter is it's
Very
small,
small.
very small.
But the sound is perfect. Perfect. Yes, I was surprised here. I said, it's not Vanessa from Guarapari. Maybe it's another Vanessa. Well, anyway, from your small screen in your small cell phone, can you read the next paragraph for us, please?
Yes. Several
You
battles.
want to be, I can make it bigger for you, okay? Just for you, okay?
Thank you.
Is it better now?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Go ahead. Several battles.
But it's
Several.
missed some part.
It's missing?
Yes, some words from the text.
No.
Here.
No.
She's supposed
Let
to
me change. That's okay now.
Yeah,
I moved my mobile here.
okay.
Several.
Yes.
Now it's cover my.
Is it possible to see several battles?
Yes. Several battles had already taken place near Manassas Junction in Virginia, in the mountains of western Virginia, where Union victories paved the way for creation of the new state of West Virginia, where at Winston's Creek in Missouri, at Cape Hatteras in North Carolina, and at Port Carolina, and at Port Royal in South Carolina, where the Union Navy established a base for a blockade to shut off the Confederacy's access to the outside world.
Okay. Confederacy. Okay.
Confederacy.
Okay. Confederacy access to the outside world. Is there any problem about this part? Any word, any expression that you are not familiar with? Or no?
I don't remember. Shoot off.
Close, Oscar.
Close?
Yes, shut off. Not to permit, close, okay?
Okay.
By doing this, okay. Several battles had already taken place near Manassas Junction in Virginia, in the mountains of West Virginia, where Union, when I say Union, think about the northern states, okay? Union victories paved the way for creation of a new state, West Virginia, okay? At Brussels Creek in Missouri, Cape Hatteras in North Carolina, and at Port Royal in South Carolina, where the Union, again, the northern states, Navy established a base for a blockade. Understand? A blockade?
No.
It's like to block, not to permit. A blockade, they created a blockade to shut off Confederacy access to the outside world. Because the idea is, if they had not taken over this Port Royal, the Confederacy or the Confederate States could just take a ship, go to the north, and start attacking from the north to the south. Understand? And by taking over the port, they block the access. Okay? Understand this or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the next part. But the real fighting, who hasn't read yet?
Me, Luana.
Luana, it's your turn then, baby. Can you go ahead? The real fighting.
For sure. But the real fighting began in 1862. Huge battles like Shiloh in Tennessee, Gaines Mill, Second Manassas, and Gaines Mill, Second Manassas, and Fredericksburg in Virginia, and Antietam in Maryland. Okay. Foreshadowed even bigger campaigns in battles in subsequent years. from Gettysburg in Pennsylvania to Vicksburg on the Mississippi to
Chickamauga.
this is Indian name.
Yes, of course. Yes, there are many Indian tribes. Chickamauga.
Chickamauga. And Atlanta in Georgia. Thank you. By 1864, the original Northern goal of a limited war to restore the Union had given way to a new strategy of total war to destroy the Old South and its basic institution, thank you, of slavery, and to give the restored Union a new birth of freedom, as President Lincoln put it in his address at Gettysburg, to dedicate a cemetery for Union soldiers killed in the battle there. Again, Alexander Gardner's famous photo of Confederate dead before the Dunkin' Church on the Antietam battlefield in Sharpsburg, MD 1862. Maryland. This is a sigla. Maryland. Okay.
Abbreviation for Maryland. Wow, Maryland. You printed the material. That's why you were looking at the photograph, huh?
Maryland.
Okay, any problem about this part?
Foreshadowed.
I have a problem. When I read, I can't think. I'm reading, I'm not thinking. I don't know. It is
Me
incredible.
too. Me too.
I
have
don't
this
think
problem.
about. I'm only reading. Maybe my neurons, do you know?
Neurons.
It's only for read. I can't do both things. It's strange. It is okay.
Me too.
I understand you very well. Because you are
I pay attention.
Very hard,
I pay
teacher.
attention when the guys are reading, but when I am reading, I can't understand.
I understand exactly.
I have this problem too.
Oh my God. I'm happy.
Yes,
sorry, but
it's not a personal problem, understand? Yeah. I think it will take a long time for you to be able to read aloud and understand what you're reading. That's basically because you're focusing on the pronunciation.
Yeah.
And then you don't pay attention to what you're reading.
That's true.
Exactly.
But it takes a long time. It's not easy. I can assure you that even very advanced students have the same difficulty. So this is not a problem, really. Okay?
Oh, good.
The same thing happens to me in Italian. If I read silently, I can understand. If I read aloud, I can't understand. Okay? Yet, I hope that one day I will be able to. Okay. Any other problem about this or no?
Oh, teacher, what it means foreshadow? Oh my gosh, foreshadowed. Yeah.
Foreshadowed. Okay.
Yeah, foreshadowed.
Do you know what shadow?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Foreshadowed. That means already predicted, already indicated, already showed. Okay? It is a warning, an indication of a future event. Okay? It predicted even bigger campaigns. Okay?
Sorry, teacher, I can understand because I can listen you well.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry.
Okay. Let me invert here the things. Let me see if it will get better. Sometimes it helps. Okay, let me get the microphone here. Foreshadowed is the same of was an indicator. It predicted that even bigger campaigns and battles would happen in subsequent years. Okay, understand now? No.
No, not really.
It's missing your voice sometimes. Do you know? It's missing.
Yes, missing sometimes. The exactly point that you say.
Yes.
Okay, it's not my bad. Let me try again. Okay, let me try again.
But
Read
it's
from-
only today, this problem.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah.
I think it's the connection.
It is, for sure. Read from the beginning with me. Oh. But the real fighting began in 1862. Okay? 1861 was the beginning. Real fighting began in 1862. Huge battles like Shiloh in Tennessee, Gaines Mill, Second Manassas, and Fredericksburg in Virginia, and Antietam in Maryland foreshadowed even bigger campaigns and battles in subsequent years. All these small battles were an indicator of what would happen in the future. They predicted, they anticipated. That's the idea of foreshadow. Understand?
Yes.
It was like a warning, an indicator of future events, even bigger. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you remember the place I told you about yesterday that I had the opportunity of visiting? More than 100 people had died in one single battle. That was here in Fredericksburg, in Virginia, south of Washington, D.C. Okay? About maybe 60 clicks or something like that, 60 kilometers. Okay? All right?
Okay. Okay, right.
Any other vocabulary problem about the start or no?
No.
Oh,
Okay. Luana, just one thing.
Yeah.
You said by 1864, the original Northern Gold, not Northern Gold, Northern Gold. Okay? I
Wow.
understood from where I am, gold. It's gold. Okay?
Okay.
All right. No problem. Can we
Northern Gold.
continue? Yeah, here there is a photograph. See, people would get killed and they would stay there for weeks and weeks and weeks. Understand? The vultures are those big black birds. They would come and eat the people. Okay? There was no time. Huh?
The blackbirds is avoid.
No, vulture.
Vulture. Vulture. It's okay.
Yes, I will write here for you. Oh,
Vulture.
okay, one word.
Thank you. Yes, vulture. Vulture.
Okay. Where am I now? Jesus Christ. Okay. What are you doing here? Okay. I think there is a space here that doesn't exist. Ah! I'm pressing. Vultures. Okay. Yeah. They would come and eat because the bodies were decaying, were rotting in the air, on the fields. Now, one is not acceptable. Imagine 100,000 dead people. Okay? 100,000 dead people.
100,000.
Yes. That's like the population of a medium-sized city, all dead. Okay? Well, we have one. Oscar, can you read one more part for us? We don't have much time. We have time to read.
For 3 long years, from 1862 to 1865, Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia, slaved of invasions and attacks. Slaved of invasions. Staved off. Thank you. Invasions and attacks by the Union Army of the Potomac, commanded by a series of ineffective generals. Ineffective generals until Ulysses S. Grant came to Virginia from the Western Theater to become general-in-chief of all Union armies in 1864. After bloody battles at places with names like the Wilderness Spotsylvania, Cold Harbor, and Pittsburgh. Grant finally brought Lee to bay at Appomattox
In
in April 1865.
Okay, let's stop there. Let's understand this.
Okay.
So, General Lee is a very famous general. He was
Yes.
a general from the Confederate States, probably the most famous general that commanded the Confederate forces. Okay, so it was very difficult to win battles against him. He was an excellent general. So for 3 long years, 1860 to 65, he staved off invasions. That means he avoided all the invasions and attacks by the Union. He was able to hold all the invasions, okay, of the Potomac, okay, by the Union Army of the Potomac River. It's an Indian name, Potomac River. They don't say Potomac, they say Potomac River, commanded by a series of ineffective generals. But then came a guy called Ulysses S. Grant. He became like the chief of all the Union armies in 1864. And when this guy took over, then the real battles began, because he was really a good strategist, understand? And he was able to defeat General Lee. That's when the troops of General Lee ran away, okay? Any problem, any vocabulary?
Yeah, I have staved off. What it means, teacher?
He avoided all the invasions. He was able to hold, not to permit any invasions and attacks, okay?
Okay.
Because as I said, he was a very good strategist, okay? Any other problem or no?
No.
No.
Okay,
I
well,
think so.
we have a little bit more, but we have no more time as usual. So today
Okay.
I tried to finish in time. But again, there are some questions here that I'd like you to think about, okay?
Okay.
Sovereign is here. What's the best definition? Okay. Seceded is here. Okay. Fleeing is at the end of the message. What is the meaning of fleeing? Okay. And try to finish reading if you have time. And tomorrow we'll just finish the last 2 paragraphs and we'll talk about the
Thanks.
questions before starting a new class. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
very
Roberto.
much.
Bye,
For the
teacher.
lesson. Bye bye, guys.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Very well.
See
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.